Hello everybody, welcome to another edition and welcome back to the channel W.K.R.H 12 Productions. Another edition of new custom builds and new vehicles that we have purchased that came out in the month of September of 2022 in regarding to first responder vehicles, police vehicles and first responder vehicles. We only have police vehicles at the moment, but we do have a couple of other vehicles that we wanted to show you in the process. And when we wanted to show you, we talked about in the last video. We talked about the vehicle that we won on the raffle of Hewitt's Hot Wheels. Along the way, we did win a prize in that. We won a kind of like a consolation prize, but this is what we won. Pontiac Trans Am. Yeah, Pontiac Trans Am. Green light Pontiac Trans Am, and it's nice. This came from the Rocky or Apollo vehicle, Apollo movie. Yeah, that's nice and clean all the way around. This is what we won. And we promised you last month in the last video that we was going to show you this in this video. Nicely done. Might roll out. One thing about this Trans Am compared to, we don't know if it's comparable to the, it's definitely comparable to the Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am, but this is good and clean. And I would probably mistaken this vehicle coming off of that movie than the Rocky movie, but it does show, a good, a good presentation on this vehicle. Nicely done. No license plate, but nicely done. Just wanted to show you that and get you going. Just get you flowing on that. It's not a store purchase. Like I said, we won this over one of the channels, Hewitt's Hot Wheels. It is a lovely channel. We watch this thing frequently, and we've been watching other channels that Hewitt's Hot Wheels is affiliated with, like RD Customs, Honest Diecast, Old Man Diecast, and such. Yeah. Pete, boy, you and I, we were right. You live in North Carolina, I live in South Carolina, so we might hook up. Just a thought. He does good customs. All these guys do good work, especially Hewitt's Hot Wheels. Go check them out. We'll try to leave some information on it, but most of you are probably affiliated with them, and it's hooked up with them in their channel anyway. We just keep an eye on them and just watch their work. If you want to, then you're able to like and subscribe, as well as my channel every once in a while. Just wanted to welcome everybody back into the fold. We're trying to do this once a month, but I'll tell you more information as we go through on us in this channel. But we're going to present more cars to you for the month of September. This is what we purchased to get to the, this is what we purchased recently. This just came in the mail too, not too long ago. We got it through the mail, through the the mailbox, mail openings and stuff. What you call it, mail showcase or something like that. But anyway, we got this through the mail recently, and that was the only vehicle we bought. We bought this thing in North Carolina. We tracked it down, bought it on eBay. Nicely done. This is the Matchbox. This is from Matchbox. It's from the, let me see, It's from the Matchbox Collector series, and it's the Dodge Charger police car of the Illinois State Police, celebrating their 100th anniversary. 100th anniversary vehicle. It's one of that. We showed you the police interceptor, Illinois State Police interceptor utility vehicles of the Illinois State Police. The Illinois State Police anniversary decals on it. Yeah, nicely done, nicely decorated. This is clean. We haven't had a chance, but like I said, we just got this in the mail, so we haven't had a chance to detail this. To detail this, but we're going to be detailing this. We already took it out of the package, as you pretty much can tell here. Kind of widen this shot here, and we love it. We wanted to see if we can get it. We got a hold of it and purchased it, like I said, through eBay, and managed to get the opportunity to look at this vehicle in all its glory. Now we are stoked. We might make a couple of more, and we're going to wind up having more anniversary vehicles of the Illinois State Police and their anniversary decals than on the regular decals, even though we have the regular decals. We want to get the anniversary ones as well and put it on a couple of Dodge Chargers, gussy it up like this one with a little bit more detail, of course. And we're going to put more detail, like I said, we're going to put more detail, especially on the front. We like everything about this. We're going to try to get around the bumper and color in the grill and stuff. They did do the back very, very well. Got the back done. See if we can get there. Yeah, we got the back done. Look at that. License plate says Illinois. I see you. Unit number 933. But I like that. That's very, very good. See if we can get there a little bit. All that stuff. There we go. And the State Police. 933 MBX. Looks good. It's very shiny and clean. Not very much to it. State Police looks a little cartoonish, but not too bad. Not too bad for what it's worth. But I love this Dodge Charger. Even though this is like a 2007, I believe. Yeah. And this, they say, is a 2012. It's a 2012 Dodge Charger Pursuit. Yep. 2013 version, however you want to look at it. Nicely done. But that's what we purchased as well. And we have yet to customize, but we're going to customize it. And hopefully I'm going to try to make a reminder of seeing this vehicle, again, and you're going to see it detailed. You're going to see more details to it. Another vehicle that we purchased, believe it or not, through a barnyard find at Scale Down Hobby Shop that's nearby. This is a tuned Dodge Charger, and I didn't think there would be a tuned Dodge Charger. I've never seen that casting. I've never seen a tuned Dodge Charger casting before until we saw this. This is a Dodge Charger. This is kind of more like a Dodge Charger 2007-ish, 2006, whereas what it says on the bottom, but 2006, 2007-ish Dodge Charger. They made it tuned, and like I said, this is the first time I've seen it, but this is a casting, and we made it. We spruced it up, put some decals on it, made it a Oregon State Trooper vehicle. Oregon Highway Patrol, however you want to look at it, but it is the Oregon's Highway Patrol here of this on this two Dodge Charger, and decorated it, spruced it up, detailed it to add to the fleet. Looks much better. Put a push bar and a light bar on it. The push bar might not be appropriate enough, so to speak, for this vehicle, but we put it on there. And if it doesn't look as tuned as the vehicle itself, we'll probably take it off. But looks good. It looks like a little nose. It looks like it's too big for the push bar. That's what it looks like. But it being tuned, and we'll take it as it comes, because this is one of those rare vehicles that we saw, and we just had to have it, and we got it. We decorated it up. But like I said, this was one of those barnyard finds that we found in a pack of several vehicles for about $5 that the owner of the hobby shop just happens to have his own collection, and puts certain vehicles, sorts certain vehicles by price, and then what is very low price he'll put in a bag, and sandwich bag, Ziploc bag, this type of bag, scaled down hobby shops, this type of bag here, and he has it advertised, and that's how we get it, for example. And that's where this car came from. So we got that. Hopefully our guys did a fantastic job with this, given the circumstances that it's a tuned version of a vehicle of the Dodge Charger. Nicely done. The Oregon State Police will probably put a bumper number and some bumper stickers on the bumper itself. Got plenty of room for it. We could definitely do that and detail it up a little bit. But nicely done. Of the Dodge Charger. We considered this as a purchase vehicle, but we also customized it a little bit and spruced it up and made it this one. Made it to this vehicle. Nicely done. Nicely done. I think that's it for all the purchase vehicles. I mean, we purchased some, but we also customized it. So we'll go over it with you. We don't have much to show you, but we do. What we do have, we made multiple amounts of it. So we made more than one. We made at least two or more, except for this vehicle. This is the Washington, D.C. Police, and kind of just detail this on this 2012 Hot Wheels Dodge Charger, I believe. Might put a push bumper in front. We're still debating on it right now, but we might put a push bumper in front to conceal a little bit of that rough spot. But it's been clean all the way around, so we're very, very impressed. Because they had a push bar on it previously, and I think that's, we just took it off because DC Police doesn't usually have doesn't have very many, if any, push bars on their vehicles. But we might just go rogue and put a darn push bar on it just to make it look like more like a police car, because it has been, when we've been putting push bars on it, it has been looking more like a police car. So we'll see what happens, especially in a Dodge Charger. We spruced it up on the front and the back with the lights, and then had decals on it. Decals by Bill Bozo. Just nicely done. And we made the light bar. Nicely done. Looks very clean. This one's coming off most people are asking us about these type of vehicles. How you're making this thing? And we're not really making it as far as paint scheme is concerned. We try to look for vehicles that has a certain paint scheme that we're looking for, and then we'll take the tampons off and then replace it with these decals, put it on there, and we spruce it up and make it a police vehicle. another police vehicle, a different unit police vehicle. This is one of the examples. The Metropolis Police. We converted this vehicle into this vehicle. Can you tell the difference? We took the tampons off, but we've had to put at least 1 or 2 coats of paint. Spray one or two coats of paint, of white paint. I think it's eggshell white, but we spray painted it. Rattle can, of course, but we spray painted it. You know, because it was going to be some caught in the grouts, a little bit in the grooves and stuff. As much as we try to clean it up, you're still going to see that, and you're going to see those type of irregularities coming off of us removing the tampons. So we had to spray paint it with a coat of white, eggshell white, coat or 2, and it worked out tremendously well. Got it to me, and then put the decals on there. Looks smooth and clean. We never think about trying to use it to move, trying to look for something to be smooth and clean. We just try to use, to be smooth and clean. We just try to use a lot of, just minimal stuff as much as possible. We use acetone to remove the tampons, and that's it. We try to make these police cars look more muscular than we do clean, but it does show itself to be a very good, clean, muscle-type vehicle. And that's what we shoot for when we do it. We add it to our collection anyway. We're adding it to our collection anyway. Not looking to sell it, but you never know. Some people like our work, so that's why we're showing it and showcasing it to you. And see what you think, because you're actually enjoying what we put out there, and we want to continue that. This is Chevy Silverado. It's been a while since we presented our police department, our fictional police department, to you in a vehicle delivery. This is Chevy Silverado. Nicely done. Pickup truck is nicely done. We just put a a light bar on it. Doubt if we're going to use a push bar, but this is going to be more of a supervisor vehicle. This vehicle we're showing you is 90% complete. We still got to do some, dabble here and there on a couple of details and stuff on a couple things. Nicely done. Well, that's the Chevy Silverado. One thing I do want to tell you is that the decal, this is a clear water slide decal, and what we've done, we used a hack that we saw on the YouTube channel, one of the YouTube channels. I can't remember which one it was, but this one had a hack where you can use white spray paint to make the image white. And what we do is reverse this image on the software, reverse the image, and then print it out on a clear water slide decal paper. Spray, and after you do that, spray the clear coat, and then when that dries, which is about an hour later, we spray paint it. We put matte white spray paint, and just put it in there. Try to use a lightest coat as possible, and then you put it, and then another clear coat once that white paint dries, which is about 1 or 2 hours, and then put a last clear coat on it, on top of the white, on that water slide decal paper, and let it dry another 2 hours. You should be ready to go. I usually give it a day because of the paint as well. But it's matte white paint. But you can use any type of paint on it, and spray paint on it, and it'll still come out with the image. The thing is, the background, when you spray paint it white, you already have the print white on the background, so this came out brighter. This works well. The only issue I have with it is that, you know, when you gotta spray the paint on the thing, like on the decals, lightly, because if you don't, you won't be able to see where you're cutting into, and when you cut the image. And like if you have the image, you don't want to cut this in half, but you can't see it. Yeah, once you spray paint it white, the thicker you make it, the more you can't see it. And we have to, and it'd be impossible to try to look at it, you know, try to even look at it and try to find where the image is, so you won't cut into the image. You want to cut around it, but not cut into it. And the only way you can probably trim it is get it wet, and then get it wet, get it off there, and then try to trim the image once you dip it, after you dip it in water, and then you take it off the slide and put it on the project. Then you might want to cut around it before it dries up. But man, that's a tricky job. But you gotta find a way to find that image. And we've been thankful to get some of the sections a little bit, you know, where it's dark and black. And the darker you make it, the easier you're able to find the image when you paint it, when you put a white coat of matte white paint. So it's a difficult thing for me to discuss to you, but I'll try to do that on future videos. Don't hold your breath. We got a lot of other stuff going on. But you know, we just want to tell you, this is one of those that we tried the actual hack trick of reversing the image and spray paint, you know, and put white spray paint on it, 2 coats of clear, 1 coat of clear, spray paint white, matte white, and then another coat of clear. But be light on the paint, be light on the white paint. Not light enough. You make it too light, you won't be able to see the image when you get it off the paper. But if you make it too dark, you can't see the image. You can't see the image. You make it too thick, you can't see the image, and you might cut into the image that you're trying to put on the vehicles, on the project. Yeah, that's a tough sell. But the truck, but it worked on this truck, and so far so good. that we might try that on future, you know, this particular thing on future projects as well. So it's just something to let you know. This is the Atlanta Police Department. We put it on the Police Interceptor Utility, but this is Matchbox's first version of the Police Interceptor Utility, which doesn't look like an actual Police Interceptor Utility vehicle. Kind of, you know, the casting's kind of off, and it's a 170. They made it to a 170th scale, but it's a 2012, 2013 Ford Explorer or Police Interceptor Utility vehicle, however you want to make it. Looks good though. Looks good. And we managed to fit, you know, we got decals from Police Decal and Deals. Thank you, Rhonda. She did a great job with this. And we did very little trim work. Everything else fit on this thing pretty darn well. Outstanding job in getting this to fit. Yeah, we did cut on the ends of the thing so it wouldn't clash with the tail lights on there. And then we detailed the tail lights and stuff. We converted this off of, well, it used to be a Matchbox Police, and then we able to a Matchbox Police, and we was able to clean acetone the tampos off of that, and then put the clean it up, and then put the Atlanta Police decals on it, and then we touched it up, touched it up, darkened the wheels. It used to be a gold oval in here, and then we painted the wheels. So we can have that effect, so we can have a very dark effect on the wheels. No color to it. More tinted. Definitely done very well. And then in the front, we just put our touch on it, so to speak. And look what we did with the bumpers. The bumpers just glow, and we framed the bumpers. You know, the push bar. We framed it up, chromed the edges around the headlight. We blackened the back. We blackened it in the background, of it, and then chrome around it. Give it that look, because you're starting to see most of that happen. Most of these vehicles with this type of look on their vehicles. Nicely done. And here's the, look at that one. And then, like I said, we did the bumper, we did the push bar lights on it, and we framed it up. And what I mean by framing it up, we use a Sharpie and just traced around the grooves of it. That's how you frame it up. And you'll see how after we put some color to it, and then we framed it up with a black Sharpie, a thin, very fine point black Sharpie, and it just gives it that pop. And then we just colored in the mirror covers and stuff, colored in the cover of the lights, the light covers that we had here. You'll see we colored that in as well. The Atlanta Police, we did detail the back, the lights in the rear, detailed the spotlights, detailed the top of the spotlights on the top. Like colored that with the black Sharpie, detailed that. We detailed a lot on this vehicle. We're just finishing up a whole fleet of these. And let me put this in here so you can see the rest. Nicely done. Look at that. Nicely done. So nice, we made it twice. We had a fleet of 4 of these vehicles, and we still have the other 2 in our shop bay. So we're getting that going, I'm telling you. Whoops. Getting that going, I tell you. And we have displayed it in all its glory for the Atlanta Police Department. And we're going to add it to the fleet. We do have a couple of Crown Victorias of the Atlanta Police Department in the fleet, so they're going to be combined with them, and they're going to do wonderful things for that department. Great additions that we're going to be making for it. We wanted to keep the color, so the acetone came in handy of just getting that out. Then we use a black Sharpie to trim around the grooves here on the doors, in between the doors and stuff, and they gave it a little bit more pop and presentation, and then covered off the areas where the acetone couldn't reach into those grooves. But did a fantastic job of just getting around that, and then being able to put a lot in great detail on these vehicles. Fantastic job by the team. Fantastic job, especially on these push bar lights. Outstanding. Put one in the garage. They're still getting the touch-ups done. And like I said, we got half the fleet. We got 2 already done, and the other 2's in the shop bay, and about 90% done. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Fantastic job. I apologize. This was not a, this was not this is not a custom. This is one of the new Matchbox vehicles. I say we was done with all the purchased vehicles that we purchased. That's not it. This is purchased as well. Yeah, we touched it up a little bit, but I'll tell you more about it. This is the Matchbox Police Interceptor Utility, made by Matchbox. 2016 Ford Police Interceptor Utility. This is the recast of this model compared to the Atlanta Police Department that you saw with this 2012 version. Yeah. And now this is the 2016 version, and they recast it. They did retooled it. Did an outstanding job with it. Now it looks more presentable. It looks more like a Ford Police Interceptor utility vehicle. This is Monroeville Police Department. This is a licensed unit, and it has done a fantastic job on the design. And when we got it, we needed to do a fantastic job on the detail. And it came partially detailed on the front. We filled it in. We filled in the blanks, colored the mirror covers. Man, the mirror covers are big, but we did cover the mirror covers. Detailed a little bit on the push bar. And didn't do too much on the side. Everything else looked good on that other than the mirror covers. They got a spotlight on here. We did detail that a little bit. Worked on the headlights, the push bar. Here's your tail lights. We put a police decal on it. The font decal on it. It says police. Painted the oval blue and painted the put a brake light on the top of the just off the tip of the hood. Looks good. And then we detailed the lights a little bit better, the tail lights a little bit better, and framed them up with a black Sharpie. Did a fantastic job with this, with the detail. Don't worry about the number in the top. It's for our inventory purposes. Reason why I show you is because, just to explain that to you, because we do get a lot of comments on that. Just for our inventory purposes only. This is the second one. We try to make two of these. Make it a dual unit if at all possible, 2-vehicle unit. That's what we try to do. We try to make everything into at least a 2-vehicle fleet at minimum. And that's what we're going to be doing for some of the for what we do here. And we're going to try to fill in all those blanks and then make two vehicles. Now, if we can't make two of the same casting, then we'll probably make one unit of Dodge Charger and then one unit of Police Interceptor utility vehicle. And that's what we shoot for. But you're going to see a unit. You're going to see a unit with 2 vehicle, at least a fleet of 2 vehicles. That's what we're shooting for in this. And we got enough of the Monroeville police to make a unit by itself. So this is a unit of the Monroeville police. Ironically, our diorama county is Monroe County, so we can get by with these vehicles and just adding them to the fleet. But we're a little bit different, and we made it a little bit different well before they decided to make these licensed fleets part of the Matchbox, the Matchbox collection, so to speak. But nicely done, and we definitely use these and add these to the collection, especially since they're licensed police units. Nicely done. I like what they did with that, and just kept it going. This is the Cleveland Police Department. Dodge Charger drift car. Nicely done. Hot Wheels Dodge Charger drift car. Nicely done. You probably seen this last month and everything else. We added another unit to it. That's why we kind of let you know about that now. I'm not sure if we did post it on last month's video, but I do recall showing this vehicle in some form of capacity in the last video. But nicely done. We kind of detailed a spoiler with lights so people can see that a little bit easier, just in case they open the trunk and it blocks the light bar on top, or for any reason that the light bar on top is blocked off, and they can see the spoiler, especially when they go down the road in the freeways. That's our story, and that's what we're sticking with. But nicely done with that, with the police deco. That goes from, the decals are from Police Decals and Deals. Thank you, Rhonda. She does a great job with these decals, especially the ones on dark surfaces that she prints white. Print the images white so it can fit on the dark surfaces. Nicely done. I love these vehicles. They were built to be a police car of some sort, so so converting them into an actual police unit is a beautiful thing, and almost just as easy to do. You can customize these very well. You got plenty of space. Got plenty of space in the back, in the bumper. We decorate the taillight. We usually don't cut anything off. Spoilers, nah. Minimize it or cut it off. No, we don't do any of that stuff. We find a way to add to it to decorate around that particular vehicle. We may have to cut a vehicle or two to get to, to design it the way we want, but we'll see what happens. Most of the time, and we've been building for 8 years, and we really hadn't had to. I think we only had to do one cut, but we may be doing a few more cuts in the process. We might be doing other vehicles as well as police cars and first responder vehicles. You didn't hear that from me. You didn't hear that from me. But anyway, here's the second vehicle, Cleveland Police Department vehicle. Same vehicle, Dodge Charger Drift, and I love these twins, man. They look good, look mean. Nice presentation of these vehicles. Even if it's a 2006, 2007 type Dodge Charger from Hot Wheels. This is nice. We're adding it to the fleet. We have some other vehicles of the Cleveland Police Department in the fleet. And they're Crown Victorias. One's a Jada Toys vehicle. One's a Greenlight vehicle. So, nicely done. This will be added to the fleet. And the unit may look aged with these vehicles going on with the Crown Victorias, but hey, it looks new to us, and we're going to do everything we can to make it so. Let's see if we can put these vehicles here together one more time, back to back, so to speak, and see it in there. There we go. Nicely done. I say these videos won't take long, and we run into an hour either way. But some of you stick around for it, so we thank you for that. Let's see if we can try to keep it, try to get going a little faster. We only got a few more to go. We didn't make too many this month, only because one, we were making a fleet of them, and two, we were busy. Actually, we're gonna be busy throughout because we'll be doing various things as well. I'll tell you more about it in the video, hopefully after I present all this. This is the Minnesota, let me show you this. There we go. This is the Minnesota State Highway Patrol. I've been told I've been saying state police, but I've been corrected. State trooper, yeah. When you don't live in the state, it's good to have somebody correct you every once in a while and say, this is the highway patrol. Yeah. But anyway, you know what this is when you see this colors. It's unique. It's unique in color stature, but very, very effective. But very, very noticeable and very, very effective state police unit. The Minnesota State Highway Patrol has displayed these colors in maroon for a long time, and now they put a dab of white in the doors on the passenger and driver's side doors. They paint the doors white, and they put the logo right in the middle of that, in the middle on those doors, driver's side and passenger side doors. Put state trooper on a side fronts on both the passenger and the driver's side. And on the passenger and driver's side, they'd be saying serving since 1920 26, I believe. Hard to read that, but they've been serving for quite a while. Nicely done. We're still learning how to mask, but these would be our vehicles anyway. So we're still learning how to mask. We've been learning how to mask for a long time, but we try to get there if we can. And then we have the state trooper in the back. This is a green light Dodge Charger, so you're not going to see a lot of detail to it. We just painted the doors, added the decals from Police Decals and Deals. Thanks again, Rhonda. It's been lovely. Also, we used fingernail polish for the doors, to paint the doors, so we can get the pop that we're looking for. We might have to use another paint because the decals were hard on fingernail polish paint. These decals were harder to stay on, and we had to fight to get these things on. And they may still be to a point where you can very, very easily take them off. But definitely something worth noting if you're using fingernail polish to paint, to do what I do and paint the doors, or paint certain doors for certain units that has either black and white units or blue and white units and stuff. But fingernail polish paint, hey, does a terrific job in getting that pop in the presentation that you see. It gave us the presentation that we're looking for, but it didn't expect it to have a hard time putting the decals on these. And these are vendor decals. This is not mine. Usually mine I won't understand, but finding out that on the surface of fingernail polish paint, these decals have a hard time really grabbing to the surface and sticking and holding on there. And we had to fight with it. We might have to put some microsol on the edges. I wouldn't put it all over the decal. Maybe just on the edges, just to keep it, just to kind of seal it into the door without having to worry about any paint coming out, any paint coming off the doors that you just painted with fingernail polish. So not too bad. Then we put a light bar and a push bar. Nothing special. Decorated it a little bit with the push bar and the light bar. This was a maroon vehicle when we got it, and we just made it into a police car. So nice. We did it twice. We kept the wheels, and usually we keep the wheels like it is. There'll be a couple we might change every once in a while, but we kind of leave the wheels as it is because we like it to roll. We like it to roll, and if we change the wheels on these vehicles and we play them, and we do play them, we want the wheel to roll off the vehicle while we're trying to push it in motion. So it's hilarious, and might do that as a scene one day, but looks good so far. I love everything about this Minnesota Highway Patrol vehicles that they have here. These will be added to the fleet, and we have a couple of new ones, a couple of new vehicles to add to this, to the fleet with these vehicles and the other vehicles that we have in our collection in the fleet for the Minnesota Highway Patrol. Make sure we get that very, very well. Make sure we say that and discuss that in fine detail so they know that we are representing in kind. We always do this in kind. We always do it as professional and as clean as possible. We love to represent, so we do everything we can to try to please you. But don't worry about the top. This is, don't worry about the numbers on the top. Like I said, this is for our inventory purposes. That's all you might have to know, because I can't explain it to you. I just know we do it, and there's a reason for us to do it, and it works out well. How you like this? The Delaware State Police Chevy Tahoe. And this Chevy Tahoe is very, very well done. 2021 Chevy Tahoe. We add the decals to it. Add the decals to it. and give you a little bit of a look at it while we show you some more stuff. Hold on a second. Alright. Get you on that. Kind of looking through that. Sorry about that. Nicely done. Pretty clean. Decals by Police Decals and Deals. Rhonda did a fantastic job with this one. Making it the right size, appropriate size for the Chevy Tahoes. She does these customs. She does custom work on these vehicles as well. So she knows if it fits or not, and she needs to adjust the size. She does a great job adjusting that, and even the back fits very well. Nicely done. We just added the light bar to it. Don't need to really do anything else. Last month we showed you the Ford Expeditions that we put Delaware decals of the Delaware State Police on it. Did a fantastic job. Put some light bars on some, and some had the roof racks where we just used the roof racks as light bars. Kind of unique, but effective in every way. Not too shabby. Here you go. Now this is what we did with that. We added 2 Chevy Tahoe Dodge, Chevy Tahoe Delaware State Police units to add to the Ford Expedition units that we have of the, to add to the Ford Expedition units of the Delaware State Police. And don't worry about the miles for the gallon and everything else. Delaware is a small state, so they won't, they won't waste a lot of gas. They'll be able to make it to where they gotta go. And the fuel efficiency is always, people have been precise about asking about, well, the fuel efficiencies, the vehicle, the speed, and everything else. Doing it, and we're just displaying this. It looks good, And from this perspective, no fuel is required. We just got a good presentation of vehicles. Nicely done. Nicely done. A couple more vehicles to present. This is the Oklahoma Highway Patrol in a Ford Bronco sport vehicle. 2021 Ford Bronco Sport. Nicely done. And they actually made these police vehicles, these sport Broncos, the police vehicle. And we actually said, yes, we know of a unit that we can use that for. So we took the police decals off, the demonstrated police decals off of these sport Broncos after we purchased it. Took the police off with the acetone. We used our decals and actually put them on there, put on these sport Broncos, and they look fantastic. Look fantastic. Nicely done. And put visor lights on the front. They already came with visor lights on the back, but not on the front. But we decorated the front with the visor lights on the windshield. Push bar. Put some lights on the push bar. And, detailed the lights on the push bar. We didn't add any. Just detailed it. For a Bronco Sport, for a police vehicle, it has a roof rack on this thing. It's kind of unique. It may be removable, but we're not planning on removing it. Looks good as it is. There's the other side. There's we put the state trooper in the back. Nicely done. Looks good all the way around. And there's your visor. There's kind of your visor lights on the back. A little bit more. A little bit more to the fact there. Yeah, that was already on there. Did a fantastic job. Lights on the bottom part of the bumper, so it looks good. It was decorated all the way, you know, you see the tail lights, one red, one blue, one side red, one side blue. And then the mirror covers have the blue and the red opposite each other. Nicely done. They just detailed this thing all the way through. It looks fantastic. On the side, they got a red and a blue opposite on the side ends. Red and blue opposite on the side bumpers. Looks fantastic. It just looks like they made this thing a police vehicle all the way around. Did a fantastic job. We agree. So nice. We did it not one, not two, not three, but 4 vehicles. Maybe 4 vehicles of the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. Show it in all of its glory. And that's a fleet. Nicely done. That's a fleet. That's what we're all about. We just make it fleets here. And you'll see that. You'll see more of it on my channel. I'm gonna show you some of the yeah. I'll tell you more about it at the end of the video, close to the end of the video, and actually tell you more about what we're planning on doing for the channel. We're going to be showing a little bit more frequently, despite the fact that it's football season. That's probably why we haven't been. That's most likely why we haven't been doing a lot of videos, and we've been getting ready for that more than anything else. We've been training at work, and then when training's over, we're watching foot. You know, we're trying to watch football and fat and lazy. and then that little spot where we don't have football, where there's no football showing, then we'll probably work on these vehicles. One more. This is the try to make it the grand finale of vehicles, you know, the fleet vehicles. But this is it for the grand finale for September's builds, customs, and purchases. This is the Pensacola Police, Pensacola, Florida, home of the Blue Angels. And there is a vehicle in the Pensacola Police Department. They're usually they usually have vehicles that are black and white. But they did a special thing in honor of the Blue Angels. And they had a they had a blue Chevy Tahoe. We didn't get too many blue Chevy Tahoes, but this one was blue, and we actually purchased some West Virginia State Police vehicles, and actually took the tampos off, and then turned around and purchased decals from Police Decals and Deals. Rhonda did a fantastic job of making these decals fit very, very well on this Tahoe, with no cutting or no extra cutting or trimming involved, and just did a fantastic job. However, we did probably some of the most intensive detailing on this vehicle for a green light vehicle. This is a green light Chevy Tahoe, and if we haven't mentioned it on the last few builds, the Ford Bronco Sport was a green light. The Minnesota Highway Patrol Dodge Chargers was green light, and the Delaware State Police were green light Chevy Tahoes. And this is a green light Chevy Tahoe as well. Like I said, we took the West Virginia State Police and actually put it, and then actually converted it into this. Then we detailed the heck out of it. We even did the sideboards on this one. fantastic job on the sideboards, because they had sideboards on their vehicle as well. Now, it's not, the real vehicle is lighter, is a lighter blue color than this one, but the presentation that pop makes it so good. Makes the vehicle mean, makes the vehicle clean and pure cut, and we just detailed and gave us an opportunity to detail the heck out of it. And well, here's what we did. We did the sideboards, the decals, covered up most of the, did most of the decorating, but it was all in one piece. Put the push bar, light bar, the mirror covers were painted with airbrush paint. Createx. I believe that's Createx. Airbrush paint. We used a little bit of reducer. We used paint. We used the yellow paint, very yellow paint. We used the reducer, just like you would with a regular paint, and just went to town and used a regular brush, and just brushed on the mirror covers and brushed on the top spoiler on the rear spoiler, and that's it. We did, as well as other things, among other things. That's it. We did the back. Not too much work needed to be done in the back, other than the decals and the license plate. We probably did the most detail on this vehicle than any of the other vehicles, any of the other green light vehicles that we converted. So nicely done. So nice, we made it twice. Yes, we made 2 of these. However, we made this unit 6. Don't worry about this. Like I said, don't worry about the top. But this is unit 6. So this is the one we see. This is the one you see in your images. Is unit 6. Chevy Tahoe at the Pensacola, Florida Police Department, and this is unit 9. Yes, we reversed the numbers, but yeah. It's there, don't care. It works. It works. That's all you need to know. It works. It works so much. People are... yeah, I think this is our best work yet on a green light vehicle. As far as detailing it and putting decals on it, just detailing it and adding it, working to add it to the fleet. A fantastic job. Look at these beauties. Gotta straighten it out a little bit. Figure what better vehicles to make a grand finale than a municipal police department. Outstanding job. The push bumpers are 3D printed, but they look more like battering, on some of the vehicles, they look more like battering rams than anything else. But when the vehicles are on these police cars, and they show in the front, they look exactly alike. If any push bar on any police car that you see. On the side, they might look a little bit wide, but they look like maybe look like battering rams more than anything else. But that's a good thing. That kind of works into their advantage if they trying to and let the front end take the brunt of everything that goes on in the front. Yeah. And then be able to protect the rest of the vehicle in the process from damage. And this is outstanding design for a unit, and glad we had a chance to have the casting and have the decals to make this thing go. But man, just to make the covers, just use the airbrush paint, and you brush it and just brush the top, rear, and the mirror covers. That was fun. That was a blast, because we was just trying that out, and it worked out well. We couldn't find a brighter yellow to use to get to that point, and it just worked out fabulous. Outstanding job. We used the Createx because we was trying to use something that symbolizes an airbrush, and it never worked out. Oh well, it is what it is. And that's pretty much the end of the channel. What we're going to be doing, though, at the end of the show in our channel, we're going to be also presenting all the fleets. We completed all the state police units across the country. So we have a whole collection of at least one vehicle, but definitely two, at least one vehicle for every state police unit across the country. So we have that going on, and we want to show you our massive collection. So we'll be showing you some short clips of I say short, but we're going to be showing you some short clips of all of our fleet, our massive fleet. Give you a quick rundown, if at all possible. Some of them is going to be quick, some of them is going to be quite a few minutes long. Hopefully no more than 10 minutes long. But anyway, got enough information to give to you, and more of a fleet to show you on these things. And we're going to be doing each state we're going to be doing each state. Most likely not going to be in alphabetical order of the state, but we will show you all 50 states, and we're going to try to get that, and we're going to start that probably in the middle of this month in October. So stay tuned. We got a lot to come. We got a lot to show you, and we're going to be bringing in more videos during the in between the months. There'll be more, not just one video every month. Now we're going to have we might see about 3 or 4 or more, 5 or more videos during that month, as well as this type of video, the presentation of customs and purchases of these, and what we've done with them, and the magic that we do with these vehicles once we have them in our hands and in our possession, and make it look beautiful like this. This is outstanding. But stay tuned, and so don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, so you'll be notified when we want to pop a video, and when we pop a video or 2 or 3 or 5. And if you're interested about those, about our collection, our massive collection of every fleets of vehicles, all the fleet of vehicles that we have, representing every state across the country, including Hawaii, including District of Columbia. Let us, we're going to bring it to you, and we're going to bring it to you very, very shortly. So don't forget to have that notification bell up. Thank you for watching our channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever you need to do. And I hope you like what we was able to present to you today. I think that's it, pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just making sure we had everything covered, and got the alarm clock covered as well. I had to cut that off in the middle of this thing. But anyway, it is what it is. Thank you for watching W.K.R.H. 12 Productions. Hey, I'm Keith Hayes. We'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.